Have you ever felt like your mind has been hijacked, held hostage by a constant stream of noise, worries, what-ifs, and to-dos? You lie there, eyes wide open at 2 a.m., begging your thoughts to just stop. But they don't. They loop. They spiral. They dig in deeper. Sound familiar? You're not broken. You're not alone. You're just living in a world that profits from your distraction and thrives on your unrest. But what if I told you calm isn't something you stumble upon? It's not something you find on a beach or inside a scented candle. It's something you build day by day, thought by thought, action by action. And the ancient Stoics, they knew this. They lived in a world filled with war, politics, betrayal, and disease, and somehow they mastered the art of stillness. Not through denial, not through luck, but through 6 simple, powerful practices that anyone, yes, anyone, can use to reclaim control over their inner world. This isn't theory. This is a battle plan for your mind. So stick around. What you're about to hear could change the way you experience every day for the rest of your life. The first fight of the day doesn't start when you walk into work or check your messages. It starts the moment your eyes open. And let's be honest. How do most of us begin our mornings? We reach for our phones, we scroll, we react. We let the world in before we've even said hello to ourselves, before we've even breathed. But here's the truth. If you don't claim your mind in the morning, the world will do it for you. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, wrote this timeless reminder. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. So what does that look like in practice? Before you let the noise in, create silence. Just 15 minutes. No phone, no news, no demands. Instead, stretch your body. Take deep, intentional breaths. Let your awareness arrive before your obligations. Think about what truly matters to you, not what the algorithm decides is urgent. You're not just waking up, you're setting the emotional tone for the entire day. This is your anchor, your fortress, your inner sanctuary. And here's a secret. Those first few moments, they can shape how resilient you are to stress, distraction, and anxiety for hours to come. There's a voice in your head. You know the one. It criticizes. It overanalyzes. It replays that thing you said 5 years ago at a party and whispers, "Why did you say that?" It spins out worst-case scenarios like it's auditioning for a disaster movie. But here's the Stoic truth that changes everything. You are not the voice in your head. Epictetus, one of the most influential Stoic thinkers, said, "It's not things that upset us, but our judgments about things. Your thoughts aren't commands, they're just suggestions, some helpful, many not so much." So what's the strategy? Start noticing that voice. Name it. Observe it like a narrator in a movie. When it starts catastrophizing, say to yourself, there's my anxious brain again, telling stories. Don't fight it. Don't run from it. Just notice it and label it. This one small shift gives you a massive amount of power, because the moment you can observe your thoughts without becoming them, you create distance, space. And in that space, you get to choose. You don't have to believe every thought you think. You don't have to obey every fear that knocks. Calm isn't about forcing silence. It's about gaining clarity. And clarity begins with observation. Let's flip the script. What if the path to peace didn't lie in avoiding discomfort, but in embracing it? Sounds backwards, right? But hear me out. Seneca, one of the wealthiest men in Rome, used to pretend to be poor. He'd sleep on the floor, eat plain food, wear rough clothes. Why? To remind himself, I can survive this. To build mental armor against fear, anxiety, and dependence. When you deliberately step into discomfort, when you fast, take cold showers, or go a day without your favorite luxuries, you prove to yourself that you are stronger than your cravings, that you don't need everything to be perfect to be at peace. And here's the magic. Once you stop fearing discomfort, you stop being controlled by it. You're no longer constantly chasing comfort or running from pain. You become grounded, centered, calm in the chaos. Think of it as mental weightlifting. Every small moment of discomfort you choose becomes a rep for your resilience, and over time, your inner strength becomes unshakable. So far, we've seen that calm isn't a lucky accident. It's the outcome of training. Just like a warrior prepares for battle, the Stoic trains for the storms of life long before the clouds roll in. Why bother with all this discomfort? Cold showers, fasting, or going tech-free for a day? Because when the real chaos shows up, the kind you didn't plan for, you don't crumble. You've already trained for it. You've rehearsed your response. Seneca understood this deeply. Despite his immense wealth and status in Roman society, he would deliberately choose discomfort. Sleep on the floor, wear rough clothes, eat like a poor man. Not because he had to, but because he wanted to remind his nervous system, I can survive this. This wasn't about suffering. It was about preparation. Every small act of chosen discomfort, whether it's stepping into a cold shower, fasting for a few hours, walking without your phone, or even sitting in silence when you're tempted to distract yourself. Each one is a signal to your brain. We are capable. We are not fragile. You're not calming your mind by escaping the stress of life. You're calming it by expanding your ability to face it. And that's the Stoic difference. When life eventually throws something your way, a job loss, a breakup, an unexpected health scare, you're not just reacting. You're responding with a mind that has rehearsed composure. Ever opened your browser and realized you've got 27 tabs open? That's your brain, most days. An anxious mind is rarely a calm one. And more often than not, it's because there's simply too much going on. Too many choices, too much clutter on your desk, in your calendar, in your thoughts. The Stoics believed that freedom is found in simplicity. The less you need, the freer you are. So how do you simplify? It starts with what the Stoics would call ruthless clarity. Cut commitments that no longer align with your values. Say no more often, without guilt. Unfollow accounts that drain your energy. Declutter your physical space. Automate the small stuff so your mind doesn't get caught making micro decisions. All day long, Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." It's that simple, that sharp, that freeing. Each small thing you remove, each unneeded obligation, each useless notification, each toxic interaction, is like lifting a weight off your mind. And with every pound of mental clutter you clear, your mind gains space, room to breathe, room to be calm. Because peace doesn't come from adding more, it comes from needing less. Let's imagine this. You're stuck in traffic, horns blaring. You're gripping the steering wheel, tense and annoyed. Now, imagine this is the last traffic jam you'll ever sit in. Tomorrow, your car is gone. Your job too. Everything changes. How different would this moment feel? This technique is called premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of adversity. And to the untrained mind, it might sound depressing. But to the Stoic, it's liberation. By imagining loss, not obsessively, but mindfully, you transform frustration into gratitude. That annoying red light becomes a quiet moment you didn't know you'd miss. That mundane routine becomes something to savor because you realize it won't last forever. This isn't pessimism. It's a reset. Negative visualization trains your mind to appreciate life as it is, not as you wish it to be. And when that shift happens, even life's imperfections become tolerable, sometimes even beautiful. A calm mind isn't blind to what could go wrong. It just isn't controlled by it. Instead of hoping nothing bad ever happens, the Stoic mind prepares for it, and in doing so, becomes unshakable. The Stoics didn't stumble through their days. They paused. They reviewed. They reflected with intention. Marcus Aurelius, an emperor juggling war, politics, and power, still found time to sit down and ask himself 3 essential questions. What did I do well? What could I have done better? What can I let go of? This wasn't self-criticism, it was self-clarity. Your mind, like a cup, fills up throughout the day with thoughts, emotions, conversations. If you don't empty it, if you don't clear out the mental residue, it spills over into your sleep, your mood, your patience. So here's the strategy. Make reflection a ritual. Spend 5 quiet minutes each night. Journal. No pressure, no judgment. Just write. Ask yourself, what thoughts did I carry today that I no longer need? What can I put down before tomorrow begins? You'll be amazed. Often, clarity doesn't come from solving your problems. It comes from releasing what doesn't belong. The calmest people aren't those with the easiest lives. They're the ones who've learned how to let go. You don't have to be born with a calm mind. You build it. You train it. Just like the Stoics did. One breath at a time. One habit at a time. One decision at a time. The ancient Stoics weren't born unshakable. They were made, shaped in the fire of hardship, forged through strategy and repetition. So if your mind feels heavy, restless, or chaotic, don't beat yourself up. You're not broken. And every time you choose stillness over stimulation, presence over panic, reflection over reaction, you reclaim another piece of your peace. This is how you calm the mind. This is how you rise.